Hello and welcome. It's Christmas week here this week. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to open presents and celebrate with our family. And I hope that you are with loved ones and enjoying the holiday season as well. For William Shakespeare's lifetime, celebrating the Christmas season involved one of the most common traditions was a Yule log. Looks a lot like this one. And today I'm going to tell you about how this tradition works. So for William Shakespeare, Christmas was most often celebrated from Christmas Day all the way until January 6th. If you count on your calendar, that's exactly 12 days, with Christmas being day 1 and January 6th being day 12. And they would celebrate and observe traditions all of those days. It was a huge party and celebration, and it lasted for almost a full 2 weeks. Originally, the Yule log was this celebratory tradition where the entire family or group that were gathered together for the celebration would go out and find not just a log, but an entire tree and haul the tree into the house, with one end of the tree then being placed into the fire. And slowly over the whole 12 days, this log of a tree would be slowly burned down until there was just a little bit left. The little bit left, and some versions say also the ashes from what got burned over the 12 days, would be saved and used to rekindle the next year's Yule log. Over time, this custom was adjusted somewhat to be a little bit more practical than having an entire tree sticking out into your living room, and became a series of logs from the same tree. So they'd still go out and get an entire tree. They would just cut it up into sections and then burn a piece at a time. The overall idea was that once you lit the fire, it was supposed to continue burning continuously the entire 12 days of Christmas. Supposedly, this activity and keeping it burning and not letting it go out was to bring you good fortune. So whether you just leave the entire tree sticking out of your hearth, or you replace the logs as it gets low and keep it burning that way, you wanted it to be a continuous burning event. In England, it was traditional to use oak, but in Scotland, they used birch. And interestingly, in Devon and Somerset, I read they bundle up ash twigs to use as their Yule log. So instead of a log, they have a bundle of twigs, supposedly because when Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus were cold, the shepherds gathered up ash twigs to burn and keep them warm. So that tradition is observed in Devon and Somerset. So apparently, even in different sections of England, exactly how this tradition was observed varied somewhat and could be quite unique from region to region. But in general, in England, for Shakespeare's lifetime, they did celebrate with the Yule log. Historically, it's actually called a Yule clog in Northeast England. It's called a Yule block in the Midlands and West Country, and Yule block in Lincolnshire. My British accent is horrible, so apologies to everyone in Lincolnshire if I pronounce that incorrectly. In Cornwall, the term for Yule log is actually stock of the mock, and today they still call it the mock instead of Yule log in Cornwall. So why do they have the tradition of a Yule log at all? Why is a burning of a log part of Christmas? Well, the origins of this tradition are actually pretty murky. When you look into history, nobody really knows the original source of this tradition. We do know that one of the earliest clear references to the use of a Yule log for Christmas was in the 17th century, but we don't know exactly where it began. Most historians think that the origins of this tradition are likely pagan. Christianity moved across Europe and converted many of the pagans into Christianity. And so the pagan Yule log tradition was adapted to Christianity. Applying Christian beliefs to the Yule log, there's an association of the Yule log representing the light of Christ to the world, and many Yule log ceremonies will include taking time to pray before you light the Yule log to ask for God's blessing on the Christmas season as well as the coming year. These are all adaptations to this particular tradition. Originally, lighting a Yule log was most likely a part of a midwinter celebration or a winter solstice celebration that was entirely pagan and didn't involve God or prayer, and certainly not Christ, not originally at all. But certainly for William Shakespeare, they would have had these connections. Today, you can purchase Yule logs like the one that we bought in a store, and you can burn it. It is round instead of, if you're here in the US, a lot of times if you buy pre-cut firewood, it'll be kind of triangular sections, and the Yule log, you'll notice, is quite different because it's round, and that's because being round and thick makes it burn longer. And again, the idea is to keep it burning for 12 days. So you want the log to kind of help you out there and burn by itself for a long time. To celebrate this tradition in your own home, you would probably want to have at least 12 of these guys, because I don't think this one log by itself would even burn 24 hours. You can test that theory and let me know if your Yule log burns for a full 24 hours. But it's probably going to take a lot of these to really observe the tradition the way Shakespeare would have done it, by burning a fire all the time. Keep in mind that's easier in the 16th century when you had a fire going in your home to keep warm all the time anyway. But for us, the way our family is going to celebrate with the Yule log for the first time this year, we've never done this, we're going to burn just this log on Christmas Eve to just have some fun and celebrate the joy of the season. I hope that you and yours enjoy the season as well. Make sure you check out castacash.com for a free Christmas gift that I have for you guys. It's some free digital artwork about the life of William Shakespeare. I'll put the link for that below this video. From all of us here at That Shakespeare Life, I hope you have a wonderful Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.